Hello, everybody out in the globe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, we're going to talk about what is manifestation, right? We need a good definition of what this is. And there's so many, right? We got law of attraction. We got law of belief. We got law of assumption. We got law of the public restroom. Whatever it is, there's some sort of law, and there's a billion of them out there, okay? And there's so many different approaches. And a lot of these focus on the mental side of this. And yes, I agree with that. The law of manifestation is a mental law. But it's also a law of creating in our stage world. This is what I call. A lot of people call this 3D. I don't like that word. It's too colloquial, meaning it's like you've got to know that person who uses the term 3D. So I just call this the stage world, the mirror world, right? And so manifestation is two-part. It's never one part. I know that we like to think that. Like, oh, you just got to live in here, right? And that's partially true because you still got to live here. Yes, we're gods, but we're gods in flesh suits. We're gods in this globe. We're gods in this world, right? And so there isn't a one versus the other, okay? We're called to be in the world, but not of it. So what does that even mean? Because I think understanding that will help us understand what manifestation is. So when you break that down in the Greek or even the Hebrew, the word in means within, right? To be in the world, to be here, right? But not to be of this world, okay? So that distinction is not binary, by the way. That's not binary. That's not setting up a us versus this world, okay? That's a really, really unhealthy way of thinking of manifestation because we're still God, whether we're walking in the flesh suits or not, right? That doesn't change. We don't automatically stop being God because we forgot to use the law one day. We're always using the law, whether we're aware of it or not, because our awareness is what manifests, right? So when we're manifesting, this is in the stage world, that's creation. We're creating in the stage world. We're living here, but we're creating here, right? But these are all part of the same process. That's what Neville means when he says, we are all one. He doesn't just mean people. He means the processes as well. We're all part of it, right? And so what's happening is when we are here, we're creating as well. But we don't see the creation until it shows up here. We see it in here. We might feel it and experience the joy of it, and we live it. But when we also experience it, we experience it in here as well, right? Now, that doesn't mean that you failed just because if it doesn't show up, because you've experienced it in here. But the reason why you sound like I'm contradicting myself is because I'm really, really trying to emphasize the importance of what's going on with the nature of manifestation, right? Because manifestation is creation at the heart of it. We are creators. We are these divine creators who are waking up to the realization that we've been God all along, okay? And so yet we're going to have distractions. We're going to have things that pull us away from that, okay? But those distractions don't have to be just out there. They can be in here as well. So the reason why I say that is because we really, really like to get to the point of almost like a solipsistic approach of like, well, just live in here, right? Yeah, but this is a stage world. So this only mirrors what's in here anyways. So why not do both? Why not enjoy this world? To be of this world in the biblical sense of the idea, the mystical writing behind that means don't find your origins, don't find the birthing of your desires here, right? You don't beget yourself here, meaning you're not born from here. You're born here, and you're born again here, right? That's where you begin changing things, and that's where they show up eventually, initially, right? And that's as long as you hold to your new state of awareness, right? And so this is a beautiful world. This is why, because we all get to create it by agreeing to certain things, right? And so we're using manifestation as a way of, yes, step one, to become aware, right? Yes, we see, and that's different, right? Because most of what you're going to hear and read and experience, even from big people like Deepak Chopra, is we're here to create. Actually, we're not. That's part of what we do. Creation is just what we do. It's a natural knock-on effect of what we already do anyways, right? We don't create. We are creators, right? So, and hear the difference in that, right? So creation for us is effortless. We do it. It's like an artist who paints. It's just what they do. We just do that, right? But what the law is a form of awakening. And we get to use all these awesome tools and all these things that I'm helping you get to understand, and other people are as well along the way, is that we're using these tools to awaken to our own divinity. And again, divinity doesn't just mean knowing that we're God. It's knowing that the fullness of who we are, at the core of who we are, is also not human. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with being human, because there isn't one versus the other. It's never the human versus God, like how it's set up in some religions, or like how it's set up in some scientific beliefs, right? There's never that separation, because manifestation is the awareness that we are open to the reality that we are all one and that everything is one, right? So I know that I've repeated myself here is because I think a lot of what is being passed around is manifestation is effort. Manifestation is sweat equity, right? Manifestation is constantly pushing and forcing and compelling and abusing and modifying. And it's none of those things, because you are God, right? This is your playground, right? And so you get to experience it, and you get to experience more divinity and become more aware of it the more that you use the law, right? So manifestation is about waking up. That's really what it is. It says this in the New Testament, awake, O sleeper, right? And again, that's an esoteric metaphor for the fact that the more and more that we buy into the lie that we're these limiting beings, right? That we're metaphorically sleeping. We're metaphorically dead. And so we need to rise ourselves up from the dead. That means rise to a different level of consciousness, right? And I don't like the word consciousness, but for lack of a better word, we're going to use that. Okay? So this is what manifestation is. Manifestation is about waking up. Okay? Yes, you can use it to get things. Of course, why not? That's fun, right? But note that every single time you do, that it should lead you to a different level, right, of awareness. And that's really the key that we're getting at here. Because the more aware that you become, the more powerful you become. And the more powerful you become, the quicker you can manifest, right? And so that's a major key to understand and embrace as a lifelong practice, is that every single thing that you create, everything that you consent to, everything that you agree to, right, is ultimately how you're creating, okay? So choose wisely. And I mean, choose wisely to the point where you're scrutinizing almost of your own thoughts, of like your own emotions and your own reactions, right? Because that's you architecting. But then there's another level, and this is more psychological, because a lot of people think, well, is there a non-spiritual understanding of manifestation? Of course there is. And this is more of a psychological approach to understanding it, because like I said, we're already manifesting. You don't have to believe in a certain system or a certain person, even Neville, right? You are doing it every day. So for example, if you have a belief, because Neville says the state is a body of beliefs, so let's just accept that. That's the basics. A body of belief isn't just in here. A body of belief is acted out here. That's why I started with the kind of opening that I did. Because here's the thing, if you're afraid of heights, that's a belief that usually probably, by the way, you've accepted because of some sort of childhood belief or parental belief or experience, right? That's going to have you living that life. It will, 100%, unless you change it, unless you challenge it, unless you use like tips and strategies from exposure therapy, okay? But if you grew up in an abusive family where the husband abuses the wife, or the husband abuses the husband, whatever it is, you're going to learn that model, and you're going to learn how to relate to other people, but you're also going to learn how to judge other people and react to situations based upon that model, okay? That's you manifesting, right? Because you're living out your beliefs. So this over-spiritualization of it, I think, gets away from the reality that we're living our manifestations, whether we know it or not, right? So, if we love adrenaline sports, we're going to go jump out of airplanes. If we love falling in love again and again and again, we might have 7, 12, 15 lovers. Whatever it is, our beliefs are what are manifesting. And that doesn't matter, again, what system you hold to. That's ultimately who we are as beings, because that's who we are, right? Whether people agree to it, believe it or not, accept it, it's completely true. And there's even a neuroscientific book that actually deconstructs all of this called The Expectation Effect, right? And I would encourage you to get that book because it breaks all of this down, the whole manifestation conversation down in a very scientific way. And the reason why I think this is an important approach is because we still are neuroscientific beings being God. So, hope this was helpful. Let me know your thoughts and how you define manifestation and how you use it for yourself, and share that below, and share this with at least one person today. Thank you so much for your support. If you're looking for coaching, jump in the DMs across social. You can find me, Jordan Bridger. So much love to you all.